Kurumjari. Hello my little friends. Nene welcomes you once again in Angangi Pothawari Kids List Story. Before the story begins, it's shout out time. The name of those kids who have given the right answer for the previous story, The Elephant and Its Friends, are Melvina Oina, Multitel Prati, Divansh, and Prayana. Let's give them a big round of applause. So dear children, have you ever lost anything which is very dear to you? Like a toy, a coin, a car, or anything? And if you lost it, have you ever wondered what had happened to it? Today's story is about a boy who has lost his dear mitten knitted by his grandmother. And when the spring comes, he found out exactly what had happened to the mitten. So let's start the story of the lost mitten. It was a cool winter day. A boy set off to the woods in search of kindling for his grandmother. Kindling is nothing but the firewoods. So he put on his warmest clothes and a beautiful furry mitten knitted by his grandmother. He searched for the kindling nearby, but he couldn't find any. So he went deeper and deeper into the woods in search of the kindling. He spotted a place where the woodcutter used to work. And he was so happy that he picked up all the twigs and the pieces of the kindling and put it into his sledge. In his hurry, he never noticed that one of his mittens had missed. So he hurried back home, and on the way back home, he began to feel chill. He shivered and his hands felt cold. So he started searching for the mitten, but no mitten could be found. So he tucked his chilled hand into his pocket and rushed back home. Meanwhile, the mitten was laying down on the snow. There, a mole came by. Squeak, 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 squeak. When the mole saw the mitten, he was so happy and he shouted, "Wow, this is going to be the best place I'm going to live in." So he rushed into the mitten and started to get warm of the mitten and stayed there nicely. Next moment, a frog came by. Quack, quack, quack. Is anybody living in this mitten? So the mole replied, "Squeak, squeak. I am Molly the mole, and who are you?" The frog replied, "Quack, quack. I am Froggy the Frog. Could you please let me in? I'm feeling so cold." So Molly the mole said, "There's always a room for one more. Hop in." So the frog hopped inside and they both stayed there. After a while, a rabbit came by and saw the mitten. So he stopped and called out, "Ha, ha, is anybody living in this mitten?" Then from inside the mitten, the mole and the frog replied, "I am Molly the mole."
"And I am Froggy the Frog, and who are you?"
The rabbit replied, "I am Rabby the rabbit. I am shivering here in cold. Could you please let me in?" They both said, Yes, jump in. There's always a room for one more. So the rabbit also jumped inside the mitten. Next, a fox came by and he said,
Hello, good people. Could you please let me in? I am feeling very cold out here.
So from the mitten the voice came, squeak, squeak, I am Molly the Mole.
I am Froggy the Frog.
I am Rabbit the Rabbit. And who are you? The fox replied,
I am Freddy the Fox. Please let me in.
Then they all agreed and said, okay, run in. There's always a room for one more. So the fox happily ran inside the mitten and stayed there. Next moment, a bear came by and he started to call out,
Hello, good people. Could you please let me in? I'm shivering here in cold. I'm freezing out here.
Then from inside the mitten, they all replied, squeak, squeak, I am Molly the Mole.
I am Froggy the Frog.
I'm Rabbit the Rabbit.
I am Freddy the Fox. Who are you? The bear replied, I am Bolly the Bear. I am feeling very cold. Could you please let me in?
They all started to argue. He's so big, how can we let him in? Some of them said, no, we all adjust here, let him in, he can manage. When the bear heard, he said, yes, I will manage, I will squeeze in, please let me in. So all they agreed and said, okay, squeeze in, but don't say that we didn't warn you. When the bear came inside the mitten started to stretch and stretched. By that time, there is a call out again. Then who it was? Strip, strip, strip. Is anybody in here? From inside the mitten, the reply came, squeak, squeak, I am Molly the Mole.
Crap, crap. I am Froggy the Frog.
I am Rabbit the Rabbit.
I am Freddy the Fox. I am Bolly the Bear. And who are you?
The grasshopper answered, Srip, Srip, I am Grassy the Grasshopper. I am feeling very cold out here. Could you please let me in? Again, all the animals argued. There is no space in the mitten. How can we let the grasshopper in? If a big bear like Bolly can enter the mitten, why not we let the grasshopper in? So they all agreed and told the grasshopper, there's always a room for one more. Just fly in. Searching for a place, he sat upon the nose of the Bolly the bear. Now by the time all are pushing and pulling, it was very crowded. So the mitten stretched and stretched and stretched, and it stretched so much that it broke. All the animals inside the mitten came out tumbling off the mitten. But the grasshopper got a scrap of mitten. It fell down on his body, and the grasshopper said, Srip, Srip, this piece of mitten will be my home. I will be inside this scrap of mitten. So he stayed there happily alone. Following spring, The boy came out to play and saw the scrap of his mitten, and he picked it up. Under the scrap of the mitten, there was a voice. Strip, strip. Who is picking up my home? Then the boy said, "Oh, sorry, but this is the mitten which I lost last winter. Could you please tell me how do you find it?" So the grasshopper said, "Okay, I will tell you. Let me sit on your shoulder." So the grasshopper sat on the boy's shoulder and told the whole story how he got the scrap of the mitten as his home. The end. I hope you all enjoyed the story. So children, the moral of the story is we should always make a room for one more. Maybe it a room in your classroom, maybe in your home, or maybe in your heart. Hope you all like this story. So if you like it, please share the video so that your near and dear ones can also be benefited. And one more thing, if you like to make this cute little froggy, you can go to the description box. Till then, bye bye. Thank you so much for watching.